Hey guys, John here. In this video, I want to go over 10 features and a bonus that the 2024 fourth generation Toyota Tacoma has that my third generation Tundra does not, but I wish it did. All right guys, the first one we will start out with comes up front, and I think it may be obvious for a lot: recovery hooks. The third generation Tundra lacks proper recovery hooks in the front, whereas the fourth generation Tacoma, it actually has recovery hooks. Now you may be thinking, well John, you're not gonna take a 6.5 foot bed, Crew Max Platinum off-road to Needham, are you? Well, no, I'm not. However, my last Tundra that I had, I actually parked somewhere where I wasn't supposed to on the beach and it got towed. And I asked them, well, how the heck did you tow this thing? And they wrapped it around pieces in the front end that you shouldn't have to put a tow strap around, whereas if the truck had proper recovery hooks, they could have done it. So coming down the side of the truck, as we enter the driver's seat, there are two items that the Tacoma has that I wish my Tundra did. The first one being aux switches. So on select Tacoma models, you have 3 aux switches right here. It says aux 1, 2, and 3. The cool thing about those is right next to the fuse box, inside the engine bay, it is already pre-wired for you to put ditch lights, bumper lights, maybe you have a compressor or something in the back, whatever you need. You have 3 things that you can pre-wire in the engine bay that you don't have to run wiring through your firewall into here to have switches. So the second item being 3 aux switches. The third actually comes in the form of the 12.3 inch screen. So both the Tacoma and the Tundra have a 12.3 inch screen like this. However, the Tundra's really isn't customizable. You can move this stuff over here on the left to give you all your information. The speedo pretty much stays the same. And over here, I can't figure out how to change it. On my Sequoia, I was able to change it to show iForce Max information and towing information, but really if I figured out how to do that on this truck, that's only 2 kind of ish customizable things. The Tacoma, you have 3 separate gauge cluster looks that you could do, and what I mean by that is you could change the center display, you could change the display on the left, and you could change the display on the right 3 times. So you can have 3 different gauge clusters, 3 different displays on every single preset. Now that is really, really cool that they have that super customizable gauge cluster. Hopefully some of that carries over here to the Tundra in future refreshes. I just like that you could have a slew of information on the Tacoma screen. It's really, really cool. So coming around to the bed, we have item number 4. Now on the Trail Hunter and on the TRD Pro, there were scene lights in the bed rail. So there were LED lights that were here inside the bed rail. The Tundra has a very nice LED light right there on the cab, and we also have pretty bright lights in the bed too. However, you had some scene lights here to light up the whole left-hand side and the whole right-hand side of your vehicle. So I thought that those were pretty cool options to integrate into the bed rails. So the 5th feature that the 2024 Tacoma has that I wish my Tundra did, it comes to the tailgate. So my truck has a little party trick right here where when you touch that right there on the tail light, the tailgate comes down. The Tacoma one-ups this by having that same button over here on the passenger side to release. So whether you're walking down the passenger side of your truck or you're walking down the driver's side, if you bump that, the tailgate will go down. So it has it on both the passenger side and the driver's side, but to one-up that again, the Tacoma has an automatic tailgate. So this tailgate is dampened, and you may say, well, why the heck do you need an automatic tailgate? Well, it'll come down automatically, but it'll also go up automatically. I have to lift my tailgate up. No big deal, right? And I thought, well, why the heck would I want a automatic tailgate? That's kind of stupid. Well, when I had my tailgate down, like literally, I don't know, a week or so after coming back from Hawaii, I had the tailgate down. I took out some lawn tools and stuff from it, and then I was about to put the tailgate back up, and I realized, well, I have to put all these lawn tools down. So then I had to set everything back down, which I know first world problems, whatever, but you set all this stuff down, and then you have to manually lift back up the tailgate. Whereas on the Tacoma, just give it a little push like that, like with your knees, and it would automatically close itself. The very first time I thought, wow, having an automatic tailgate would have been pretty nice to have. So continuing with bed features, the 6th thing the Tacoma has over the Tundra is a better inverter. So this one has a 400 watt inverter. The iForce Max Tundra also has a 400 watt inverter. However, the Tacoma, that one has a 2400 watt inverter. So if you're going iForce Max with the Tacoma, you have a very powerful inverter in the back, whether you're out on a campsite, whether you're out on a job site, whatever you need to power up, it is really using the batteries and the power of the 4th generation Tacoma over the Tundra. So that is definitely something that a lot of people wished that the Tundra had was a powerful inverter in the back. And the Tacoma, well, it has it. So the seventh thing that the Tacoma has over the Tundra, and I'll just include this for the people that want it, full-time four-wheel drive. Now that is only available on the Tacoma Limited, but it is still nice that Toyota gave us the option on the Tacoma to either have our part-time four-wheel drive or a full-time four-wheel drive option on the Tacoma. Again, you can only get it on Limited with the Tacoma, but it still would have been a nice option for those that live in a snowy climate that just want to have a full-time four-wheel drive truck. All right, coming into the passenger side, this is a huge gripe that I have with the Tundra. There's not a whole lot of storage in the truck. I mean, there's a decent amount, but if you get a hybrid, you lose a bunch of storage under the back seat. But when you step up from the SR5 grade to Limited, Platinum, 1794, TRD Pro, Capstone, you lose a shelf right here. And I know that's not the end of the world, but you don't realize how much your passenger puts stuff on this shelf, or you just want to put some stuff on the shelf. And I mean, there's nothing here. Like a lot of other brands like Chevy, Ford, they have a glove compartment that will open up right here. It's all integrated into this dash. Tundra, once you get above the SR and SR5, like the working model trucks, Toyota just gets rid of that for some reason, and it's a huge miss. So the Tacoma has a nice shelf right here for the passenger, extra storage. It's very, very cool. Now to tie in with that, with passenger storage, number 9 is USB-Cs everywhere. So this Tundra, when it came out, it still has USB-A for our data, but the Tacoma has USB-Cs everywhere, which that's what everything is going to. So this USB-C is actually up here on the back of this screen for the Tacoma. Down here, they actually have fast charging USB-Cs too as an option that could like charge tablets or anything. So if you're overlanding with your Tacoma, or if you're one of those that just has a tablet mounted right here for whatever reason, you could plug it in directly right here, and there's fast charging inside the Tacoma. Whereas on the Tundra, if you go in here, all you have again is just a USB-C and a USB-A, and they're just normal charging ones. They're not fast charging at all. So guys, the last feature that the 4th generation Tacoma does better than the Tundra actually has to do with towing. So John, what the heck do you mean by that? The Tundra tows way more than the Tacoma ever could. Well, it has to do with the camera system. So if you noticed on some of the Tacomas, they actually had 3 shark fins up top. And when I asked about that, what the heck that was, it's so you can add stuff like an auxiliary right here camera. So if you're towing something and you have cameras attached to the trailer, you can press that auxiliary button and you can actually see the cameras around the trailer. That is something super, super useful that you're getting on a mid-sized truck. And this truck with like the crazy tow mirrors, I don't even have that. Like, that's not even an option for Tundra. Now, I understand like model longevity, right? Like lifespan of models. The Tundra may get all of this stuff in a year or 2 years, and the people that bought a 2022, they may want to upgrade to a 2026 or something like that, right? So it keeps the life cycle going. But it's just absolutely insane that a lot of that stuff is on a mid-sized truck, boom, right out of the gate. And a Tundra owner, I'm just like, where is that? Where is that option? And the bonus, guys, is the TRD Pro. So the TRD Pro Tundra is based off of the Limited. You get nice Fox shocks, you get BBS forged wheels, you get a cooler interior, but that's about it. Some nice little accents on the outside. The TRD Pro Tacoma, holy smokes, is this thing a step above what a TRD off-road is on a Tacoma. It is absolutely insane. So you get Fox QS3 3-way adjustable shocks. You get 33-inch tires, which are pretty much the same size tires that you get on a Tundra TRD Pro. You get those on a tinier Tacoma. You actually get a TRD intake. You get a TRD exhaust. You get isodynamic seats, which are basically a gimbal seat that will keep you in place while you're off-roading. It'll keep your head, your body, your spine, everything in place while you're really driving that truck super, super fast. And it's just really well put together. TRD upper control arms, Fox hydraulic bump stops in the rear. Like, there's just so much stuff going on the TRD Pro Tacoma that really makes it a pro. And you really feel the difference between that and a TRD off-road. Like, all the models of Tacoma, you really feel the differences, and they're not just packages. So the TRD Pro Tacoma truly outshines the TRD Pro Tundra. Again, it's a smaller truck. People will likely off-road those a lot more than they would a big 3rd gen Tundra. But when you're paying that premium dollar, right? And sometimes people even pay over the premium dollar for those vehicles, you want to get more out of it. And I truly feel like the Tacoma TRD Pro, it just gives you so so much. Well guys, that's all I have for now. Is there anything that the new Tacoma has that the Tundra doesn't that I missed? At the end of the day, let me just say this, right? Before I see it all down in the comments. The Tundra's really good. It's not like insanely great, but it's really good. And the reason it's not insanely great is because there's the Ford F-150, the Chevy Silverado, like all of these top tier full-size trucks that everyone gravitates towards. This has never been America's best-selling full-size truck, ever. The Tacoma, that has been America's best-selling mid-size truck for a long freaking time. So they really had to raise the bar from the 3rd generation Tacoma to this 4th generation Tacoma to retain their crown. This truck, they didn't have that, but it still does stink to see a ton of great features on that Tacoma that the Tundra doesn't. Now, the Tundra still does have some stuff that the Tacoma doesn't, but that is a video for another time when I get my hands on my own 4th generation Tacoma. So guys, I appreciate you all watching, and I will catch you all in the next one.